Bismillah, Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I'm Rasyad Naufal Ibrahim, gonna be your host of Weekend Tech series. In this week, we have one speaker from TKJ class. The name is Alvi Rifaldino. So, for the wasting time again, please welcome Alvi Rifaldino.
Oke,
Okay,
bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm sorry guys, I use this mask because I get a flu. Okay, first I want to I would like to introduce myself to you all. My name is Alfi. I'm from TKJ class. Today, uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna introduce to you all uh, about Mikrotik. So let's start it. Mikrotik, Chapter 1. The Mikrotik Company. The Mikrotik Company was founded in 1996 and made its router OS software applied in 1997. At the beginning, the company focused on providing software to run on commodity hardware. In 2002, production of the router board hardware platform began, combining router OS and in-house developed network appliance in the HCP platform. The company is based in Latvia, capital city is Riga, and a company summary published in 2016 indicated about uh, 140 employees make up the company. The company hosts meetings around the world called Mikrotik User Meetings, MUMS for short, where professionals can meet with vendors, see upcoming products, and get official Mikrotik training. Records on Mikrotik's website show these meetings have taken place on all continents except Antarctica. Router board and router OS documentation is available online in wiki format, and numerous consultants and networking enthusiasts have established a knowledge base online. Chapter 1.2, Mikrotik Distribution. Mikrotik doesn't sell directly to consumers, but maintains relationships with a number of distributors who are well known in the WISP industry. A list of distributors is available on Mikrotik's website at the following URL. So there is a URL. A list of distributors is available on Mikrotik's. That is a website. And then we go to RouterOS software. Mikrotik's RouterOS network operating system is the secret sauce that brings advanced networking capabilities to physical and virtual routers. The RouterOS software platform is based on Linux. If you can configure a smaller of small office, home office, or SOHO router, you already know some of the comments for configuring core routers, like the cloud core routers or uh, CCRS. Being being Linux-based allows administrators to run scripts and interact with the system at a lower level than some other platforms. With that being said, Router OS doesn't expose a full Linux shell environment like uh, 100% Linux instance running Vert or other open source projects like uh, VYOS. It's also not possible to implement your own Node Mikrotik drivers or create your own software package. Mikrotik resource. Additional resources are available to help you learn Router OS features, engage with the community, and get help online. Knowing where to go for help, training or system documentation is just as important as knowing commands and configuring. configuration steps. Participating in online communities can also be very rewarding and help you develop new skills. And then we go to Mikrotik Forum. The Mikrotik Forum is online space for interacting with the Mikrotik community and Router's developers. News about feature release and features are often posted, and community members can reach out to help from their peers and the vendor via forum threads. Access the Mikrotik Forum at the following uh, under URL. And then we go to Mikrotik user meetings. Mikrotik user meetings, or MUMS, are regular events where Mikrotik users and vendors can meet, attend workshops, and view new products. Mikrotik user meetings also offer training and certifications opportunities for Mikrotik professionals. See the following URLs uh, under the under this for a list of current and upcoming meetings around the world. Distributor and consultant support. Distributors and consultants often offer up commercial support and resources for growing and maintaining Mikrotik networks. Speak with your Mikrotik distributor to learn what they offer in terms of engineering and support. I'm sorry. And then we go to Mikrotik support. Mikrotik provides support for Routerboard and RouterOS products via email. In my experience, they have been very responsive and responding to bug reports and miscellaneous requests for documentation updates. With that being said, to get the best support possible, you must provide the best information you have available about your issue. As anyone who has worked help desk knows, FAGU reports and tickets don't generate the best response. Like the first, emailing support, auto support, support best practice, and the others. And then we go to router board. Since 2002, Mikrotik has produced a wonderful diversity of equipment, including routers, switches, including routers, switch, and wireless infrastructure components. The router board platform, introduced in 2002, puts the router software on Mikrotik branded hardware. Units range from small office routers with 5 Ethernet ports up to fiber optic based core routers with more than a dozen ports. There is a large variety of wireless products as well, including small indoor access point or APS and large tower-based microwave backhaul units. The Routerboard product line is powered by different processor architectures. While the routerized software can run directly on uh, x86 and x86 until 64 platforms from Intel and AMD. It's most often run on embedded systems using the following processor architectures, uh, like MIPS-B, MIPSL, uh, MMIPS, SMIPS, Tile, PowerPC or PPC, and ARP. Many routerboard units feeder microprocessor without interlock pipeline stage, or MIPS, and IPS, a architecture processor, which is very popular for use in embedded devices like routers. The MIPS instructions set has been licensed to chip manufacturers like Qualcomm Adderall, Texas Instruments, and other who produce the chips. To fit with specific device architecture, memory, processor count, model name, and more use the slash system resource screen. Common as shown in figure 1.3 on the following page. Like this page. Yeah, like this page. This picture. In the case of the router, the MIPS chip is MIPS 24KG made by Qualcomm Edros. The same information is available in Winbox on the system. The source as shown in figure 1.4 is this picture. You can look what the information like architecture name, uh, like the architecture name, board name, version, boot time, and factory software. You can look this picture. And then some of the processors like MISB are single core and made for Soho environments. Other processors including PPC and Tile are used in larger models like the RB1100A HX2 and CCRS. Most models are passively cooled and feature a single power supply. Higher-end models have active cooling and multiple hot swap power supplies. Ultra-S x86 installs can run on commodity server hardware from Dell, HPA, Trend Micro, and others. They can benefit from the server's built-in redundant cooling, power supplies, storage controllers, and more. Then we going to router board feeders. The router board product line includes rack mount routers, desktop, uh, SOHO or SOHO routers, and wireless device. Some router board device can be expanded with mini PCI or MPCI, radio modules, additional random access memory or RAM, and storage. Main units in the router board line begin with the RB module nation like the RB2011 and RB95N1. Newer models like the HEX and HAP ran marketed with RB designation, but it's still included in the model number. For example, the HEX model with Power over Ethernet or PoE shown in figure 1.5 is model number RB960PGS, like this picture. That is RB9680 PGS. Routerboard units can also be packaged as mountable circuit board units for use in custom or specialized enclosures. An example of this type of unit is the LB493HA shown in figure 1.6 on the following page. For outdoor and tower mount environments that can experience extremes in temperature, UV, humidity, or saltwater exposure, a unit like this in a custom enclosure is often the best choice. And that is RB 493AH board. Router board models like the RB800 series can also shape the router boards that add additional MPCI and Mini PCI Express or MPCI-A expansion ports. One of these ports is shown in figure 1.7. There's a doctor board, where the doctor board installed plus MPCI cards like those shown on page 102. Custom case with additional antenna holes and mounts is typically the best option. So that is about router board feeders. And then we going to cloud core router. Cloud core router. The CCR product line was announced in 2012 to much excitement from the community. Many enterprise users had been asking for a platform with more reduced processing that could operate in the network core and better handle full body gateway protocol or BGP routing tables. Based on the tiled architecture, CCR models that are current as of this wide features 16, 36, or 72 processor cores. Most models also have expandable memory slots and come pre-configured with enough memory to support large routing tables, complex queues, and robust firewalls. The CCR product line also includes devices that support SFP plus fiber modules, redundant power supplies, and active cooling. Figure in 1.8 shows some of the components inside a CCR model. Small form factor pluggable ports are located in the bottom left, and a large heatsink with fans and a shroud for active cooling in the middle. So that is Mikrotik CCR components. There is small form factor pluggable in the bottom left. These features make it easier to introduce Mikrotik into in the provider networks and the enterprise network core. The Mikrotik CCR uh, 10 and 16, 12S till 1S Plus is pictured in figure 1.9 on the following page and is great sample of both a CCR and device that use SFP fiber modules. So that is a Mikrotik CCR 10 and 16 till 12S till 1S Plus. Some CCR models support dual power supply units (PSUs) as shown in figure 1.10. For increased stability and hot swap in case of failure, replacement PSU is shown in figure 1.11. So that is a Mikrotik CCR, two Mikrotik CCR. Then we're going to cloud router switch. The cloud router switch or CRS platform is Mikrotik's higher end switch product offering. Historically, Mikrotik didn't offer larger network switch, though the smaller smart switch units like the um, RB260 series shown in figure 1.12 were available. This RB260 GS smart switch. So cool. Small and so cool. The larger CRS product line includes both desktop and rack-mounted switches that complement the other wireless and router offerings. This allows consumers to have a larger layer 3 smart switch and enjoy the same router OS environment they are used to. An example of the CRS CRX 22N624G2S plus RM is shown in figure 1.13 on the following page. There is a cloud router switch CRS 226 24G 2S plus and RM. Small switches like the RB 260 series run a dedicated software release for switch called Switch OS. Larger switches like the CRS have the option of booting either to router OS or Switch OS environments. The SwitchOS software features a web interface and is designed specifically for management of switching functionality. While the SwitchOS software is not part of the MTCN outline, it's worthy of mentioning here because of its continued use. Then we're going to Cloud Host Router. The CHR is a preload virtual router installation, while the x86 version of router can be installed on bare metal servers or hypervisor. The CHR is purpose built for virtualization. It's distributed on the Mikrotik download web page in a virtual disk format like .vmdk and VDI. The CHR can run on virtualization platforms like VMware's Oracle VirtualBox, Microsoft Hyper-V, and other mainstream platforms. So that's example from CHR Hyper-V console. There virtual machine connection, and that is console. So we're going to Utro S license. As of the writing, there are 6 active license levels, of which 3 can be purchased directly from Mikrotik or distribution partner. License don't expire, and software upgrades aren't limited by the vendor. However, it's not possible to change the license level once a purchase key has been entered. All Ultra-S license levels are listed below. Level 0, just 24 hours trial. Then level 1, just a demo. Level 2, Mikrotik not used. Level 2, but usually next to level 3. YISP, Customer Premise Equipment, CPA. Level 4, VIWISP, Small. Level 5, like level 4, WISP, but level 5 is large. Then level 4. And then last, level 6, Controller. Motherboard device come with an embedded license that cannot be transferred. Higher license levels can handle more concurrent tunnels, user manager sessions, hotspot users, and more. Levels 4, 5, and 6 also come with different directions of initial vendors over time. To view the license on your device, use the slash system license print, commonly shown in figure 1.17 on the following page. Software ID is ABCD, uh, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Level is 4. The same information and Winbox can be accessed under System License on Winbox. Winbox under System License. Level 0 trial. Level 0 license will reset the device after 24 hours and require installation to test for another day. With OS x86 installation have a level 0 license by default for testing and proof of concept, but license can be upgraded in place. Level 1, Level Demo. Level 1 demo license can be requested for free via the Mikrotik client portal following URL. Unlike Level 0 trial case, the demo doesn't expire after 24 hours. However, there are a number of stipulations to running a device at this level. See the URL above for more information on this restriction applied to demo license key. License key. First, limited connections for tunnel like PPTP, AYP, uh, and the other. Then no wireless support, no included version upgrades, no included support from Mikrotik, not eligible for resale. Level 2. Level 2 is no longer used in the modern ROS versions. Very old Mikrotik models still in production may be releasing a Level 2 license, but it won't be found on Mikrotik hardware fully deployed in modern networks. And then Level 3. Level 3 license device cannot function as wireless access point because they are only licensed to work as CPAS. This is a cost-effective license for WISPs, with many smaller CPA radios in the field that only need to join the WISP network to provide connectivity for customers. This level isn't available to individuals for broadcast on Mikrotik's website. Thus, it is available for phone broadcasters. Level 4 and 5. Levels 4 and 5 license routers can function as infrastructure device and AP is in WISP and enterprise environments. Hotspot users, tunnels, and other features are limited in their quantity depending on the license level. For example, level 4 license can support up to mm, 200 PPPoE, L2TP, and PPPTP tunnels. Level 5 license can support up to 500 of those 10 tunnels. For a list of specific features and limitations, see the following URL. Level 6. Level 6 license devices are often installed as core routers or tunnel aggregation device. They are licensed for an unlimited number of tunnels, hotspot users, and more. At this level hardware, capacity of the device become the limiting factor. Many organizations handling a lot of users or tunnels choose to deploy routers with license level on dedicated servers with high-end networks interface card installed. The last CHR license. The CHR virtual image is licensed out of the box as a fully functional router. However, until a valid license key is entered, all interfaces are limited to 1 MB or stack speed. Unlike level 0 license, the uh, CHR image doesn't reset after a 24-hour period, but it still retains the speed limit. The output of uh, slash system license print show the license level as free in figure 1.19. And then after that, the next to chapter 2, router OS software. How to router OS installation, pre-install router OS, virtual hard disk, package, and the again. Router OS software. Router OS is the network operating system that powers physical and virtual Mikrotik device. Upgrading, downgrading, managing software package, and making configuration change are typical parts of any MTCN candidate that is. Fortunately, RootOS looks and feels much the same across different networks and devices. As long as you have a good working knowledge of how RootOS functions, you can work at WISP and MSP or in enterprise that use Mikrotik and feel at home. RootOS installations. RootOS and its components arrive in a number of formats for Mikrotik users. Pre-installed on routerboard units, prepackaged in virtual hard disk files, .iso image, .npk software package, regardless of the installation. Type functionality is largely the same from a network administrator's perspective. This makes RootOS tickets very portable across platforms and organizations. Pre-installed RootOS. The pre-installed copy of RootOS on each router board is ready to go immediately without any further installation or licensing. License level can be raised if necessary to enable additional functionality. To view the license level, use the /system license print command shown in figure 2.1 on the next page for a pre-installed routerboard unit. Uh, the picture is showing pre-installed license. The license is level 4. Routerized virtual hard disk. The CHR is fileable, preloaded in virtual hard disk, raw disk, and Naufal formats. Access these files for your respective virtualization platform from the Mikrotik download page at the following URL. As of early 2017, downloadable file formats include the following. First, VHDX, Microsoft Hyper-V 5, V, VMDK, VMware Products Oracle VirtualBox, VDI Oracle VirtualBox, and then last raw disk image. A CHR VM is easily broke online by adding the basic Linux compatible virtual hardware, attaching the virtual hard disk or VHD, then booting the VM. In chapter 18 on page 281, there are step-by-step directions for creating a CHR VM in Microsoft Hyper 5. And then we're going to Tutorials package. Mikrotik routers all come with the default set of package for doing basic routing and other functions. Additional package can be installed to extend functionality with more advanced features like multi-protocol level switching or MPLS, Internet Protocol Physics or IPv6, Kalia, and the other. By default, the system package is always checked and cannot be unchecked during installation. Another package can be selected as shown in Figure 2.2 on the following page. There are system PPP, DHCP, Advanced Tools, Scala, Dude, GPS, Hotspot IPv6, KVM, uh, ICD, MPLS, Multicast, NTP, and the others again. Routing, security, UPS, user manager, and wireless. Each package includes different software capabilities for the router. These packages are applied and include the following features. Advanced tools. Uh, there are network monitoring, RF scanning, work on LAN or WOL, and more complex ping tools. 2. CALIA or communication systems for law enforcement. There are tools for collecting subscriber data. First one to the Communications Assistance for Law Enforcement Act in the United States. Act in there are Communication Assistance for Law Enforcement Act in the United States. And then Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. This package allows the router to run as the HTTP client server and relay. GPS Mikrotik device can use an attached global positioning system or GPS receiver to get position and time updates with this package. Hotspot includes software to run paid captive portal for public network access. IPv6 all the software needed to run an IPv6 router. MPLS this package allows the router to participate in MPLS switching, including virtual private LAN service or tunnels, VPLS tunnels, and then multicast. With this package, a router can run protocol impedance multicast or PIM, and Internet Group Management Protocol or IGMP proxying. So there are many many package from MutroS. Mikrotik assembles individual packages together into roll-up package for RouterOS instance on different platforms. For example, the RouterOS x86 package includes the following individual package: system, hotspot, wireless, PPP, security, PLS, and install the HCP, router board, IPv6, and then routing. So you can also install the package. Command lists all installed packages including their version and the current status. Results with someone results with some packages already installed and marked with an X. The same information is available in Winbox under System Package as shown in Figure 2.4. There is easy access to buttons on the same screen for package, enabling and disabling downgrades and installation checking. Package format. Packages are downloaded in a compressed zip file and extracted into a directory with individual package files. Then, downloading package. Download additional packages if you need their feature capabilities from the Mikrotik download page. You can you can go to page on mikrotik.com or www.mikrotik.com. RouterOS release. For RouterOS, software branches are available for download on the Mikrotik download page. Each of the following release branch has its place in the enterprise and provider networks. Current, there are four: an enterprise, current, Blockfish Online, GC, Release Candidate, or RC. For many Mikrotik users, the current branch will always be the most appropriate. Updating RouterOS, you can also update the RouterOS. It's important to keep abreast of change, any change log, and subscribe to the Mikrotik newsletter for the latest information about software updates and features. Attackers want decided to take advantage of bugs or other vulnerabilities in outdated software. Keeping OS updated is another layer in your data security strategy. You can uh, you can tell the types using the release candidate kernel is shown in figure 2.11 like this. Slash system package update slash system package update set channel release candidate slash system package update checks for updates. Now system is already up to date. Then we're going to updating software. The following commands will download update package for a branch of the internet and install them. The first command downloads package but doesn't install them automatically. A device reboot is required to install the package and finish the upgrade. In Winbox, click in the download and install button shown in figure 2.7. Downloads and automatically reboots the device to complete installation. If a device doesn't have internet access, you can upload .npk package file using SSH or FTP. FTP. Once the package has been uploaded, use the following commands to finish the upgrade process. Slash system package update install. This command will reboot the device without asking for further confirmation. The device will remain offline for approximately 1 minute while the process completes. And then you can also downloading software. If for whatever reason a software update causes issues on a device, it can always be downgraded to a previous version. Upload the older .npk files to the router, then click the downgrade button shown in figure 2.8. Control S will then ask for a confirmation of the downgrade system reboot. If the confirm reboot to downgrade router needs to be reboot, you can click yes. Router will reboot and reinstall the other package that you uploaded. You can also disabling router OS package one by one. Not all package will be used on every Mikrotik device in your network. Whether in mind and a good best practice follows disabling or removing any package you don't need. For example, if you're not using IPv6 address, then the IPv6 package isn't needed. Use the following command to disable a package not currently in use. Slash system package disable IPv6. Once that command is run, if you run slash system package print, again the status of the IPv6 package will be scheduled for disable, as shown in figure. System package disable IPv6 and then slash system package print. And then there is IPv6 uh, scheduled for disable. Reboot the device and the package will automatically be disabled. The hospital and the PPP package had already been disabled, and that's how IPv6 will appear after the reboot. The enabling package works much the same way. To re-enable the IPv6 package, use the following commands: slash system package enable IPv6 slash system reboot, and we must reboot the system. And then we're going to accessing the router. Accessing the router. There are more than a few ways of accessing and configuring Mikrotik device. Methods range from command line to web access, desktop access with Winbox, and even an application program interface or API with command structure being consistent throughout the platform. It makes administration easy once technicians are familiar with commands. First, access methods. Motherboard device can be accessed and configured in a few different ways. In fact, you don't even have to configure an IP address on a device to get access to it on the network. Device can be configured via graphical interface, or via Command Line Interface (CLI). Here are the methods of accessing motherboard, device, and critical control systems. First, serial ports, select models. The second, LCD touchscreen, Telnet SSH, WebFig, Winbox, Mac Winbox, API, and API SSL. All these methods give you access to create, update, and remove configuration options. Winbox and WebFig can easier to use than the others for technicians than that aren't comfortable with the CLI environment. As of this writing, there are some options available from the command line that haven't been integrated in the Winbox or WebPack. Fortunately, there are many, but beware that it does happen. For plans, enterprise, and service providers, it's also possible to centralize management of RouterOS via abstraction software like Ansible, Puppet, and Ceph. Serial port. The hardware serial ports allows you access the device directly and recover it if needed. A null modem type cable is required to connect the device from computer. Software like Microsoft's Hybrid Terminal or Qt in serial mode are required to interact with the console. For CRS and RB 2011 device Cisco style RG45 to DB9 connection is required, but those cables are cheap and most network administrators have one squared away from working with other vendors' equipment. The default serial line configuration is as follows: baud rate uh, 90,000 and 600 database A, parity none, habits one, and flow control none. Then we go into LCD touchscreen. Some motherboard models like the RB2011 CCR and CRS feature and liquid crystal display touchscreens on the front or top of the device. The screen can be used to monitor interface traffic and the basic configuration like changing IP address. By default, the LCD screen is uh, personal identification number or pin protected, but the default pin is 1 till 4. For security reasons, the pin should be changed, or the LCD screen should be set to read only. Is the following comments. Slash LCD set pin uh, 1739 set rate set rate strip only strip mode, and then yes. In read only mode, the pin doesn't apply. Non-default pin shall always be set in case the LCD is taken out of read only mode in the future. An example of the LCD touchscreen from the front of the RB2011 is shown on figure 4.1 on the next page. Another example was shown on the front of CCR model in figure 1.9 on page 11. There is an LCD screen for 300 Mbps, 300, 200, and 100. Telnet, like in many systems, Telnet is applied for command line configuration. The Alvi is secure protocol. All usernames and passwords are sent in plain text and easy to sniff with tools like Wireshark or Can Enable. While possible, disable Telnet and use SSH instead. If Telnet must be used for whatever reason, it should be solicited to a dedicated virtual LAN or VLAN or management network. Disable Telnet if possible with the command shown in Figure 4.2. And then, uh, beside that all, beside that's all, we also can use Winbox. Winbox is a Mikrotik specific program from Microsoft Windows that allow routers to be configured and monitored remotely. The program can also be used on Linux with the Wine emulator, but that isn't officially supported by Mikrotik. The Winbox program can be downloaded from the Mikrotik website and it's updated fairly often to accommodate new comments and features. By default, The window applications connects to router-OS device on transmissions control protocol TCP port 8291, and connections are secure. Convenient features of Winbox is that it can discover Mikrotik device on the local network via network discovery. Nearby devices that were discovered are shown in the network tab in figure. Login profiles for multiple devices can be set to help you easily administer multiple devices. You can connect in Winbox, use a MAC address or IP address, or you can log in. Uh, in a work with heightened security or compliance requirements, having credential Winbox may not be allowed. The Linux application looks much like the WebKit interface, and figure 4.9 on page 55. If you can use one, you can use the other. Once authenticated in Winbox, the main window will load, giving you access to configure the device as shown in figure 4.6 on the following page. That is Winbox. When new functionality is added to RouterOS, an update to Winbox is sometimes necessary. When recent versions of Windows update and updater was added to login with Windows showing figure 4.7. Then we're going to Winbox device access. This the following steps to connect the router board device running the default configuration with Winbox. So Winbox is uh, more easier than more easier to access router Mikrotik than any other way. And then Mac Winbox. Mac Winbox provides the same functionality as regular Winbox, but it can connect to device without an IP address. This works really well for higher-end Mikrotik devices that don't come pre-configured. With an IP address, not needing an IP address can also be a lifesaver when an administrator accidentally deletes the wrong IP address. Refer to the Save Mode section on page 16A for another file-safe measure to detect when configuring device remotely. That is Mac Winbox. The only downside to connecting the device via Mac Winbox is that you must be on the same network segments as the device. Isn't was possible to reach a device via MAC address across different networks without a layer 2 tunnel like Ethernet over IP or UIP or proxy address resolution protocol or ARP running. And then maybe the last is WebFig. Our router OS device can be configured via a web browser using WebFig. Web interface distance of connection on TCP ports 80 and 443 use the following URL to access WebFig for a router running the default configuration. You can use the IP uh, 192, 198, 88, and 1. An example of type of a WebFig script is on figure 4.4.9 on the next page. The security the secure HTTPS WebFig interface should be used in lieu of the less secure HTTP interface. So and then after all of the accessing the router, we're going to uh, how to configuring router OS. Network administrators coming from a background in other platforms can find the Mikrotik command structure a bit different. However, after using router OS for a bit and getting to know the command structure, it quickly makes sense. Winbox, Graphic, and the console are all organized around the same common structure, so the knowledge you gain in this chapter is extremely portable. This chapter teaches you how to OS use commands and shortcuts. Then Worksheet show basic configurations like the hostname and DNS so you can practice using them. The section or structure shortcuts moving up and down the hierarchy and more are clearly applicable to other commands like those for the firewall or queries. Okay, first, safe mode. NeutralS has some built-in capabilities to protect you from locking yourself out of the device. The easiest way to ensure your own ongoing access while making change is to utilize safe mode. Because I haven't router, so we just look at picture. If for whatever reason your session with a device in safe mode is cut off abnormally, router will report any changes that were made since safe mode was started. Enter safe mode by using the Control X keystroke at the CLI. The prompt will change to reflect that you now in the new mode. Control S to be a safe mode pattern. Change can be made, but they won't be safe unless you use the Control X keystroke a second time. If you use the Control D X keystroke or if the connection is cut off prematurely, the device will require change. Match was saved in safe mode. Exciting safe mode properly with the second keystroke at the console results in a safe mode address message. The prompt will also change back to the typical non-safe formatting. Windows show clear safe mode with the safe mode button shown. Select in Figure 5.15. Windows is in safe mode. Winbox is in safe mode. Clicking the Save Mode button grays out the box and place you in Save Mode. Clicking the button again takes you out of Save Mode and leaves change applied. If you make Winbox change in Save Mode and then try to quit, either the exciting Save Mode first confirmation dialog opens as uh, shown, shown in figure like in this picture. You are in Save Mode. You will quitting if you click yes. Think of safe mode as your get out of jail free card. If you cut yourself off from a remote device. Then we're going to system hostname or how to ask to change uh, our hostname in Winbox. The default hostname for every router is simply Mikrotik. As your organization grows and brings more routers device online, it's important to uniquely identify each router and switch. Each device should have its hostname that is unique to and readily identifiable. Use the slash system identity command in the figure to update the hostname for each device. Like an example slash system identity set name um, router.lan or other name. Having good host names in place does the following for an organization. This device inventory process improves device monitoring maps in the Qt, quickly identifies device while troubleshooting, bringing the administrator up to speed faster on the network topology. And then, login banner. Most complaints standards require some type of login banner that displays a message at the console when a user comes to login. Some countries and jurisdictions give different legal weight of weight to those notice, but it's still best practice to add a banner to your device provisioning process first. Set the empty banner to be displayed at login. Slash system not set show at login yes. Then set the contents of the banner message. This should be something that clearly states access to the root is for authorized administrators only and that access is monitored. Consult with a legal professional in your area for the appropriate verbiage. The following comment sets a fair basic banner message. Then, time zone and clock. By the default, the time zone and daylight savings time, or DST, preferences are not configured on RouterOS device. Shows the baseline. This picture shows the baseline configuration for the time zone and other system clock settings. Production RouterOS device and virtual machines must have their time zones and DST configuration set correctly. In my case, I'm the United States Eastern Time Zone and we do observe DST in the region. The following commands set the time zone and DST is configured automatically. Time zone yes, time zone name Eastern, GMT 4 p.m., 4 a.m., and DST active yes. Once the time zone is set, the NTP configuration on page 71 can effectively change the system clock and update it without manual intervention. Many organizations set their infrastructure device time zone to UTC so that all timestamps match across devices and don't have to be adjusted for local time when doing clock analysis. This isn't required, but it does help if your organization spans multiple time zones or regions that observe the ST differently. And then we're going to uh, network time service. ROS doesn't synchronize time from upstream NTP service by default as of this wording. The best configuration is shown in under the figure. Then we go into configuration management. It's extremely important to have good working copies of device configurations in case of system failure. Having your ready spare device is important, but without a backup configuration is just a blank state. That could mean spending hours reconfiguring device by hand before network devices are stored. Backup device configurations are important component of any disaster recovery and business continuity plan. It's also important to verify the following for disaster recovery. First, let us know where device backups are located and have already accessed. Backups are tested and confirmed regularly before a disaster strikes. And last, an accurate measurement of the time to restore or TTL is known so it can be given to organizations, leadership, and customer during disaster. Then last is device reset. Devices that are being used for bench testing, networking labs, or other non-production source often need settings completely reset. This can be done quickly and easily with the system reset configuration blah 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 command. The reset command has option for keeping credentials already in place and default settings after the reset. The completely no device and remove all configuration items. Use the command shown in figure 5.29. So, uh, I think that's all for today for Mikrotik Introduction. So, uh, I think that's all for me. And I will say thank you for my MC, Rasyad Naufal Ibrahim. And then maybe we'll be meet uh, we'll be meet at the next webinar. And I say thank you for you all for listening my WTT or weekend teach and talk. And after this, I will give it to Rasyad Naufal again.
Okay,
Time
thank you,
for
Alvi, for the speaker. Okay, so we close this occasion with Kafaratul Majlis. Subhanallah wa bihamdika, asyhadu an la ilaha illa
okay,
Okay, thank you for watching this video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Okay, guys. Goodbye. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Wait, wait.
The